So now a couple quick photographs of both of them together. Same light setup, bouncing off of our beige wall, custom white balance, color balance shift here to be sure we get some really nice looking images. Here we go. And again, just for the sake of our demonstrations here, I'm not working the pose too much, but man, oh man, do we have a pretty light coming in on the both of them. Hey guys, get a little bit closer together for me. Happy, happy. Joe, there you go. Look like you're enjoying this. Great, great, great. Wonderful. Joe, put your arms around her too, just around her waist, both hands. Now pulling closer again to each other, even pushing closer. Oh, don't go back, Sasha, come forward. Now lean in, chin down. Okay, otherwise the reason I didn't want her to go behind him was because his shadow would then fall on her face. Not a good thing. So I always want her forward because she's on the outside here. And now Joe just pushing towards her some more. So I should chin down just a little bit more. There you go. Okay, great, you guys. Wonderful. Happier, happier. And Joe, back away just a fraction. Sasha, lean towards me a little. Chin down. Now pull closer together again. Good, good, good. Sasha, chin up just a fraction. Great. Just changing composition around just a fraction. Wonderful, wonderful. Big hug on her this time. Big hug, big hug, big hug, big hug, big hug. All righty, good, good, good. Let's go under her arms instead. And under the veil too. Sorry about that. And now just leaning in. Flowers are going to be a little bit higher for me this time. Turning your head towards, lean forward a little bit for me. Now lean into her, Joe. Now put a big hug on her. There you go, good, higher. Happier, happier. Big hug, big hug. Good, good, that's what I love. Love it, love it, love it. Good, good, good. And again, good. one more right here, you guys. All right, good, good, good. One last one. And we got a pretty nice series of photographs of our bride and groom right here. All right, you guys can relax 1 second. Let's see if we can change it up just a little bit here. Okay, a couple more of our bride and groom. Again, the pretty standard photograph. Nice looking couple right here. The gown looks beautiful and everything. But again, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to do this two ways. I'm going to do an on-camera flash right back at them. Then I'm going to do the off-camera. And you, our viewers, you let me know which one you think looks best. Here we go. On-camera flash. Yuck. Now let's go ahead and bounce it off the wall again. All right. Sasha, just bring your... Perfect, perfect, perfect. Great, you guys. Again. Good, good, good. And it's magic this time around. A couple more. I'm going to try to get some close-ups this time. Just let them kind of be themselves. Let's see what happens. Okay, here you guys looking right back at me. Good, good, good. Little hug on each other. Good, good, good. Great, great, great. Put a big tight hug on her, Joe. There you go. Okay, drop the right shoulder down. Put the flowers right up here on your... Yep, there you go. Bring your head into him some more. That's it. Look, there you go. Good, good, good. Chin down for me. There you go. Perfect, perfect. Coming in closer, closer. Good, good, good. Look back over at her, Joe. Just looking back. And you're looking back at me. Looking back at me, Tasha. Good. Joe looking down at her. Beautiful. Good, good, good. Beautiful. How about eyes up this time? Chin down some more. Chin down more, but eyes up, but kind of just over this. Kind of, yeah, not so much at him. Eyes down again. Do eyes down. Eyes closed. Just give her a soft kiss right under her eyebrow there. That's perfect. Beautiful. Chin down even more. Chin down even more. Beautiful. Beautiful. See what we got cooking here. Chin down even more, Tasha. There you go. But good. Just pulling and looking down again, not back at me. There you go. Eyes closed. Eyes closed. Beautiful. Beautiful. And again, eyes back to me now. Straighten up your head just a little bit. Flowers down a little lower. That's good. Perfect. Drop that right shoulder down a bunch. And still, I like Joe. I like how you're kind of working in there close to her. Happier again, looking back at her. Joe, there you go. Pull away from her hair just a little bit more. There you go. Back at me. There you go. Good. Real smile. Good. Good, good, good. Flowers even higher. Cover your shoulder up a little bit. Drop the flowers down just a fraction. Good. Again, chin down a whole bunch. Joe, pull closer to her. Good. Looking at each other maybe a little bit. Last couple here. and you guys can relax. Here we are. We're up in actually the balcony where the pipe organ is and everything. Look at my lines I got going down here. I love how close they are to the ceiling, how the arches are containing them in the composition. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put them in the left-hand side of the viewfinder and let all the church trail off behind them. My directional light key, as I've been talking about so far, I'm going to point it off the wall over here. I've already done my color balance adjust and my white balance bracket that we talked about earlier on. Let's see what it looks like here. I'm going to ask Sasha, bring the flowers, yeah, because I'm pretty tight on you guys. Okay, good, good, good. Let's see what we're looking like. Looks pretty cool. Again. Good, good, good. Frame you up here a little bit more. Great. Little hug on each other. Little hug. Looking back at me, though. Chin down, chin down. Good, good, good. And we got a great looking image right here. Now what I want to do is I'm going to bounce it off of this wall to my right. See how that changes the composition. So here we go. A different set of things going on. We got all these lights up above. I'm not quite sure how I want to compose it yet. And I'm just going to kind of bounce off whatever is over here, which isn't a whole lot, but let's see what happens here. Sasha, I think I want your head turning that way a little bit. Oh, not quite that much. Come back right there. Great. I think a little higher is better here. Let me have you turn your nose a little more. Perfect. Joe, chin down for me a little bit. Bring your nose back towards me, Joe, a little bit. Chin down even more. Sasha, there you go. Okay, just a little different composition here, just with the arches looking right back at me. I'm even going closer to these guys, really accentuating some of these lines here. Turn your head a little bit more. Got my light a little bit out of whack here. Coming closer again. Oh, turning your head that way, Sasha. Chin up a fraction. Good, good, good. Hang in there a second. Let me just check. Joe, chin down. Lean towards me, Joe, a little bit more. There you go. Sasha, turn your head just ever so slightly, but eyes back to me still. Chin down again. Slight smile, you guys. Alrighty, good. Again. Great, great. Joe, happier. There you go. More teeth, Joe. Good, good, good. Alrighty. And again, just a great image of the both of them here. Again, this tonality of the paint up here and everything else, my little white balance with my little color adjust bracket works perfectly well here. And notice the arch above them. Notice the railing going off into the distance. Pretty cool looking image, I think. So we've brought Joe into the photograph too. Another thing I've done here is I've kind of adjusted my color balance a little bit better here. I actually used that color bracketing. They were so warm, and I just went ahead and I slid it over to the cyan side to see if I get a little better color balance on everything. So I think I've got it cooking right now. Let's go ahead and get a couple more photographs, see if we can get a couple nice images of the both of them here. Here we go. Okay. Joe, just pull closer to her. You're fine. Sasha, you're perfect. That's it. Great. Okay, picking up the stained glass window and everything. My hand to gobo. And great, you guys. Great. Let's see how that's looking. Color looks much better here. Very beautiful skin tones. Coming in closer here. Don't move, you guys. Great. Picking up more of the stained glass window. All right, great. Again. See how that's looking. Put more stained glass around you guys. Again. Let's see how that's looking. Again, good, good, good. All right, great. Hang in there a second. Perfect. Happier, you guys. Again, great. Put a big hug on her. There you go, Joe. Chin down for me, though. I love it, love it. Looking, your nose goes that way, or Sasha, there you go. Perfect, beautiful, beautiful. And you guys can relax. We're getting some pretty cool stuff happening here with the stained glass window and everything else. And again, it's all done with an on-camera flash, which is unbelievable. You guys can just relax just for a second. I love your wonderful expressions, but just as we're kind of wrapping in here, what are some of the things to consider? One thing to consider is when you're using this off-camera flash or on-camera flash and you're bouncing it into walls or panels or anything else, one thing that's going to happen is you're going to be sucking up your battery juice pretty darn much. I mean, you are dumping a whole lot more power out of here from just a direct flash onto them to bouncing off to the wall. The wall just sucks up just gobs of those photons and doesn't let them return. So that's one thing to consider. Another thing to consider is keep your light balance best you can. You know, take a look at it and just know you got it where you want it to be. If you're shooting raw, that's up to you guys and girls out there. I'm a JPEG shooter. I'm looking at this, and yes, I am kind of using my my viewfinder here as my Polaroids, but it's pretty darn close for what I'm doing here. And I don't want to belabor that point, but what I do want to say that it gives me a good guideline for where I need to be for my exposure and everything else. How am I setting my exposure when I'm doing this? Again, as a JPEG shooter, I need to hit the exposure pretty well dead on all the time. And the easiest way for me to do that is the Nikons have had it for a long time. The new line of Canons are now having what I call full frame blinkies, which means that if I shoot a diffuse highlight, if I see it blinking back at me, that means I have gamma blowout happening here. And when I got that happening, it means that I'm overexposing the scene. So I'm going to set my camera for highlight enable, whatever it's called, highlight blowout alert, whatever the setting is here. And if I see tuxedo shirts blowing out, or if I see dresses blowing out here, blinking back at me, I know that I need to change something. Flash output, aperture, something or another to make those blinkies go away. That's key to how I establish my exposure on my wedding images, is not to have any blinkies in the scene. Another thing is check the histogram now and then. Be sure you're not banging up against the right-hand side. If you got the blinkies, that's going to happen anyway. So another great feature of the new cameras on both Nikon and Canon side is they have this, it actually protects the highlights when you're shooting in JPEG mode. Highlight tone priority on the Canon side, and I'm just it slips my mind what the name is on the Nikon side. But anyway, what it is it literally, if the camera is overexposing and you don't know about it, in the old days, we're talking like a couple of months ago before this feature became widely available, what happened was we have to critically adjust our JPEG exposures. But with that feature built into the cameras, it makes shooting JPEGs a lot easier to do, basically, because it makes blowing out the highlights a lot harder to do. Anyway, that's just a couple things on my exposure, on the color balance, on the composition. We tried to hit a lot of things in our video lessons here today, but there's a lot of information here, and I hope you'll give it a try the next time you go out and shoot a wedding. Just wring as much creativity and as much different direction of light as possible out of your on-camera flash. You can just make it sing in the key of high C. It is just magic what we can do with this. And in our next video lessons, we'll talk about how we can use off-camera flash, double lighting, and a lot of other things. So a lot of other things coming up. But again, just re-watch the lessons here and how we can get the most out of your on-camera flash. I think you'll see a huge difference in the images that you're producing for your clients. And I think you'll also find that the creative process of saying that what happens if I bounce it off of this? What happens if I bounce it off of that? You'll find your own great ways to turn out beautiful images with a beautiful direction of flash as well, beautiful direction of light as well. And it'll be a kick for you. So I hope you really, really enjoy it. Thanks for being here.